Hello and welcome to our Sport in Society, Neoma Business School rather, discussions, the ongoing series that Professor Vijay Pereira and I bring to you on multiple issues of concern for world sport, issues that need deep diving, issues that need detailed deliberation. And today we are going to talk about something that's very close to both our hearts: inclusivity, diversity, and something that we keep talking about, and sensitivity that generally doesn't happen. I mean, equality, inclusivity, diversity, sensitivity in sport, so much in talk at the moment, but in reality things are still very different. Let us give you one example before I go to Vijay. We are celebrating the Women's Premier League in India, and it's a big start, make no mistake. We are saying it's the start of a revolution. Why? Because the telecast rights have just sold for 951 crore Indian rupees, which is significant amount of money. But when you compare it with the men went for 49,000 crore Indian rupees, and the women's rights went for 950 crores. So it's a 50 time difference. So that is how far equality still is. Number two, the base price for every WPL team for the teams is 12 crores. For the men is 90 crores. So it's 8 times. Clearly, Vijay, we are still, though there is a start now, we are still, a fair distance away from achieving equality, which is eventually the goal. How do we fast track this? Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, thanks, Moria. I mean, this topic has really been extremely close to both of us. And so let me step back, as always, Moria, to explain the three terms: equality, diversity, and inclusion, very briefly, but very in simple language. So really, equality, when we talk as the simple term equality, I ask the question to my students, to managers who I do executive education, is, do you treat everybody equally? And 10 out of 10 say yes, which is the wrong answer. We cannot treat everybody equally because everybody is not equal. We can treat everybody fairly. And that is the first and last principle of equality. Let's say we have 4 children. Yes, we have 4 children. We cannot treat everybody the same because some are daughters, some are sons, some are older, some are younger, some are good in some things, and so on and so forth. So that's very, very important lesson. And it's the same in sport. Now comes diversity. And gender has been right at the top, whether it's the Olympic bodies, whether it's the states, the big one that you have started. Gender has always been on top. But then again, what is the basic principle of diversity is that, as in India, there's a unity in diversity, but it goes beyond the psychological aspect of what we call group think. If we all are same and think the same, we behave the same, we have nothing different to offer. So thinking outside the box. And that's where I think there is a lot of research that shows more diverse teams that come in with spinners, with fast bowlers, the cricket example. Now the last one is inclusion. And the key here, Boria, is about opportunities. How can opportunities be created for the underprivileged? That becomes the key in inclusion. So these are three basic areas that are much needed in sport, that we are sensitized nowadays, we know, but there is not much being done.
So let me start from the last one. You said opportunities being created. Now, one way we have tried to ensure inclusion in the social and political realm is reservation. And you can't do that in sport. South Africa tried it with the Kolpak policy. We've seen how bad a failure that is. I mean, you can't sort of reserve something in sport and say, oh, you know what, whites will play this, blacks will play this, but colored will play this. It can't happen. In India, you can't all of a sudden say X caste or Y caste will play, or the Dalits will play, or for that matter, the economically underprivileged will play. You can't do that. So what is the way? I mean, how do we ensure that we create a level playing field or a field of fair play? Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's all about opportunities, as I said, Boria. I mean, why do the minorities or the underprivileged do not make it? It's because they lack opportunities. Let me give you a direct example with, let's say, hockey. Yes, we have very good hockey players from, let's say, the underprivileged, but they don't have the opportunity to play in the astroturf. They don't have the equipment. They don't have the financial backing. They don't have the training, and so on. So it's all about how you create opportunities for the majority of underprivileged people, so that they make. We are in no way saying and anywhere affirmative action is compromising on quality. No. Or on meritocracy. No. It's about creating the opportunities so that a level playing field, as you call it, is made, where opportunities then transform into high quality outputs.
And what you just said again is so very relevant. With the Paris Olympics and the Paralympics coming, now let me take you to the second one. I mean, we've hit the nail on the head as far as the underprivileged is concerned. But when it comes to sensitivity over a subject like disability, there are still no ramps. There are still no toilets. There are still no sanitation facilities. There are still no basic facilities for people with disability to go and compete. I mean, that is what limits such people from getting their basic opportunities. Now, is it the responsibility of the government? Is it the responsibility of the private sector to step up? How do you fast track this, Vijay? I mean, because frankly, when we celebrate 75 years of independence and we are a fast growing country, these things still rankle me. I mean, in Paris, we will probably win 35 odd medals in the Paralympic Games, but in terms of achieving equality in matters of disability with the able-bodied, we are still lagging behind. Your thoughts on that?
Our collective responsibility, Boria, collective, be it the state, be it the corporate bodies, be it NGOs, be it us, academics, journalists, it's our collective responsibility to raise it, to push for it. And here I'm going to be extremely critical on the International Olympic Committee, the IOC. I read the charter this morning, and there are commissions. There's one on gender equality, there's one on ethics. But I'm saying, Boria, we need a commission that goes beyond just the gender issue and also looks at the other aspects of such, let's say, handicapped people, people of color, and so on and so forth. So really, it's our collective responsibility, and each one of us can do it within our domain. I mean, just see, you and I are going to present a paper in Cambridge on caste and how caste can be included. 70% of India is of backward caste, but what's the representation? Again, we go back to saying inclusivity means creating more opportunity, building infrastructure for them, so that there is an even playing field. Now, as you rightly say, we may win around 35 medals, India, at the Paralympics. But imagine if there was the opportunity and the infrastructure, it would be much more.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's the whole point. It's a win-win. And we're talking 2023. I mean, in today's day and age, this should be a given. This should be the law.
Thank you very much, Vijay.